So E.E. Cummings said, "It takes courage to grow up and become who you really are." Hey there, my name is Joyce Omondi, and today on CITAM Church Online, I want to talk about just that. Let's get started. Many of us have heard about the story of Queen Esther in the Bible. She has a whole book dedicated to her just because of the significance of her story and all that she did for the Jewish people. But for those of you who may not be familiar with it, Esther was orphaned at a young age and then was raised by her uncle Mordecai. And she grew up to be a stunningly beautiful woman. But perhaps within all that, having been an orphan, raised by an uncle, never actually imagined that one day she would be wearing a jeweled crown. More than that, she perhaps never imagined that she would be the one to bear the weight of her people in terms of having them freed and saving them from genocide and really securing their destiny. She might have never imagined that that would be part of her future or that that would be on her shoulders. And the reason to understand this is because you need to look at how Jewish women were at the time. They were very quiet. They were supposed to be very reserved, seen but not heard, literally. They were just expected to serve in the home and to sit in the corners of political, economic, and religious life. And so, long story short, Esther courageously invited the king. She became queen and then invited the king and Haman, who was pretty high up there but not a good guy at all, to 2 banquets where she begged the king to spare her people's lives. And indeed it did happen. The king did grant her request. Haman was punished and the Jews were saved from genocide. And ever since then, the Jewish people celebrate Esther's courage in a yearly feast called Purim. Now, I want us to reflect on that quote again, that it takes courage to grow up and become who you really are. Now, Esther was her Persian name, meaning star, and Hadassah was a myrtle. It was referring to a branch that signifies peace and thanksgiving. These are 2 things that this young woman, Esther, actually lived up and became for her people. She lived up to that name. Esther broke through cultural norms, stepping outside of her expected role, risking her own life to save God's people. And so this message is really brief today because it's really just asking, what is it that God has placed in your hand and who is it that God has caused you to be? What circumstances is it that you find yourself in? And how many times do you discount those experiences because you say, oh, I'm not from a big family. Oh, I don't have a big voice. I was never the bold one in school. Leave that to whoever because, they're more bold. They're more courageous. Today, I really just want to challenge us that whatever place it is you're in life, God can use you if, number one, you're open, if you're available, and if you are ready for His use. Because God could actually use you to do the things that so many other people around you are afraid to do. Imagine her position. An orphaned girl suddenly finds herself queen. The king hadn't called her for 30 days. How is it that you're putting the weight of an entire country on her shoulders? There's so many opportunities around us where God really just charges us to step forward into what He has called us to be. And so I don't know what it is you're struggling with today. I don't know what it is you're questioning yourself about. You feel like you don't have the right background, you don't have the right English, you don't have the right skin tone or color or, weight, size, height. No, God can use any single one of us. He can use you. The question is, are you open? Are you available? And are you ready? Are you going to step out in courage and allow Him to change the lives of the people around you, of the world, through your obedience? I hope that this has been of a challenge to you. Do let me know what you think about it. You can connect with us on our social media platforms at CITAM Church Online on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. With that said, let's catch up again next week. Until then, God bless you. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until then, God bless. Bye.